And that's about the short of it, Hype. Welcome back to the time stream.
Huh.
Did you enjoy your ride?
It's almost as if we didn't really leave.
Yeah.
Nope, we just been stuck in this unstable time loop.
And
Man,
apparently
fuck time travel.
apparently a female sea slug known as a sea hare was the thing that provided the apparent, according to Homunculus here, who now Hype gets to see what Charles Martinet looks like in the flesh.
Before she up and disappears.
IRL.
So right there, Homunculus gives us our best hint, which is that if we looked at the library, we could learn about how to find an antidote for sea hare poison.
But
However,
there's no library no more. It's an art museum.
which means we're gonna have to do some time fucking.
Which, by the way, this is probably the dumbest possible death scenario for Ike.
Just don't eat the food. You know you're gonna get poisoned. Just don't eat the food. Number
Exactly.
one. Number two.
If he
Number
could
one.
just...
Number two. Go ahead.
Or, he could have someone pass him a note, because he can't interact with himself in the past.
No, he just needs to find a poison, or he needs to find an antidote. Number one. Number two. Bear in mind, this game takes place in like the early 2000s. The internet was still a thing.
It was, but it was still it was still before it really took off, for lack of a better word.
Right. Oh, also to clarify for Hype, the way they try to signify different time periods is they'll apply different Instagram filters over it. So we're in the black and white era.
We're
of
in
the
mime
1900s.
country now.
So this is apparently just after that photograph that we took with Mr. Eckert.
Still not sure,
He's trying to figure out if he wants to make this into a museum or a library.
Isn't that guy with the glasses the geek that we met in 1970?
I believe so, yeah.
What's
Yeah,
he doing
again,
here?
Welcome to the world of reusing models everywhere.
Alright.
Again, this game was made on a shoestring budget. They only can work with what they had.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell him right now, make a library, because I want to be able to find an antidote for very contrived reasons in the future.
Up my mind. A library it is.
I mean, good to see you. You're so agreeable with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now,
Just this random dude walks up to him on the street, in full color, mind you. He just says,
Yep.
"Hey, why don't you make a library?" Alright, we met
Hey,
his daughter,
Sibylla.
too.
What is it?
Hi there.
This is Sibylla.
Oh, nothing. Just came to talk, that's all.
Oh, you can go anywhere you like. That's nice.
Yeah. By the way, we're also doing a super stupid job at hiding the fact that we're a time traveler. Like at least three different people three different people know that we're time travelers, and we still don't know where Dana is.
Yeah?
Oh, don't
For context, Hype, she was the waitress we met back in part 1.
What are you talking
At
about?
one
It's
point,
right here.
Won't tell.
At one point, we were stupid, and we time traveled too close to her, and yeah, she got sucked in with us into like the 1800s, and we haven't seen her. And as you can see, very much a priority on Ike's to-do list to figure that out clearly.
I'll ask him if you like.
Really? A kitty?
To think he finds more priority in getting this random little girl in 1920 a cat from the year 2001 than he is trying to find the waitress from 2001. that he
This feels
put
like a
back
this feels like a side quest.
Technically it is, I think, but the fact still remains. This is... Ike has very skewed priorities.
He does, and
He's a big fucking idiot.
Well, yeah. He's a big dude
I-
with a heart of gold, and that's pretty much his ultimate downfall of this whole story.
Because
Fun
again,
fact is,
we're trying to prevent his death this time, which involves him eating poison.
poison.
I mean, honestly, what I would have done is just masquerade as myself while he's still waiting on his meal, and before the meal could rise, I'd just go up to him and say, "Hey, I think someone doped my food. Would you mind getting me a different plate?"
Or even funnier, what if, like,
Yeah, I guess
he just
so.
goes like, that looks delicious. Whoops! And just, like, fucking pushes the guy holding the plate to the floor.
Yeah.
don't have
Oh,
a clue.
by the
And
way,
then
that
prime
nerd
time
guy.
Ike goes, "Hey, I can't pass up a good meal like that." And he just eats the food off the floor.
You're really making
sir,
Ike seem like a bigger idiot than he really is.
I'm looking at this going
kind
like,
of
sir,
is.
I'm looking at this going, sir, I can't read what that poster says. The texture resolution's too small. But also, that nerd guy, his late descendant is a great film director, Hype, and this is not going to play out until next chapter. But we need to figure out. This guy's a failing movie director. Can't
Also,
seem to
what
make
the
a
hell's
hit
that
film.
noise?
Okay.
Him running.
Oh my god!
It's
hey,
this
you-
goddamn
get out
heavy
of
breathing.
here!
I was like, get out! Get out!
Jeez,
It's
you're
your fault.
you're even big. You're even more of a nuisance than the fucking old
You're
sailor
more of
from
an
the.
idiot than Ike!
I almost. Sorry, Icky. I read that as you're a bigger idiot than I
look
am.
at the kitty.
I'm not saying a lot.
I mean, you're not wrong in that regard.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
also,
yeah.
I wanna
This is
kitten.
Mr. Eckert.
I want a kitten to take into the past to fuck with the time stream.
But
Mr.
that'll
Eckert.
cost you one porcelain vase.
I mean, in all fairness, what would this cat contribute to the current time stream?
I don't have a porcelain vase, but could I interest you in this digipad?
And he just chucks the pad at Ike's
Got
head.
kitten.
And I mean,
Got
in all
kitten.
fairness, he did establish earlier that one of his cats had a litter, and he was willing to adopt some, so we adopted one.
And the dogs have now heard. But also, this place is a
Wolf.
museum now. Thank goodness. So now, if we head into here, there'll no longer be pictures, but
There'll be
books with
books.
pictures.
Ooh, books.
And fortunately, one of these books, even though we've never seen this library before and have no idea what its Dewey Decimal System is, sea hare poison. It can only survive the number of days that the sea hare from where the poison was extracted had survived. That's stupid. After that time period has elapsed, the person poisoned will die instantaneously.
So yeah, no, that's been a long time.
So the best antidote is derived from a male sea hare. That's not how animal poisons work, by the way.
It
However, the
is
poison no longer
unfortunate that
exists
we
in our
can no
time.
longer feel the effects of this antidote.
Now,
Yeah,
before you
basically-
before you go off and say that sounds incredibly stupid, it does sound stupid, but it
Until you
actually does
realize
lead.
that the antidote tastes like shit.
Well, no, more like that does more or less lead into who the killer might end up actually is.
Yeah, it has to be someone from a time when the sea hare still lived, which is back in the 1500s.
Hold on,
Exactly.
4 years have passed
Also,
already?
Also, I thought you were gonna say. Also, the other thing I thought you were gonna say, James, was that it may sound stupid, but it's all so dumb.
I mean, it totally is dumb, but I mean, hey, in all fairness, it pretty much is the sledgehammer of freaking guess who the killer is, stupid.
Yep.
He's in the time of sepia tones.
Oh no, we're in the Twilight Realm now.
She said her
Because what we're gonna do is, to also catch up with hype, we met another girl in this time period who mentioned that her father is an alchemist. So, if we find her father,
Oh.
No.
Looks like we're too late for the witch hunt.
Well, like,
Duh.
maybe you should run into that burning wreckage.
No, it's too dangerous. Don't get too near that house.
the house is already
Been there,
burned,
done
man.
that, old lady.
I mean, is it burnt though? It doesn't look any better or worse than the other houses here.
There's smoke
It's,
coming out of it. You know it's dangerous.
Half a window, and look, those two nodded simultaneously in religious affirmation. That's how you know this is serious.
You know they're the one. You know they're the killers.
Dr. Wagner's house?
Oh, so you knew him, did you?
Yes, Dr. Wagner, they mentioned like twice.
I mean, to be fair, we saw them in like the first
Look,
part.
they even shook their heads in religious affirmation.
That's
That's a
creepy.
curse upon us.
Oh no. And there's a
Also,
sleeping
yeah, for
dog,
s-
so we couldn't even possibly imagine getting inside now.
This was
Yeah, I don't get that either.
place.
So yeah, hype. Sorry if you're having. How are you doing? It's been a little while since I've had you like actually talk. What have your thoughts been on all of this happening in front of you here while we feed some meat to this dog to get past?
I don't even know what's happening here.
That actually timed up on my end. That synced up perfectly with the dog's frustrated look of leave me out of this.
Okay, so I suppose
Fine.
Hype is now in the game.
Well, we described that, hence the whole time traveling thing earlier.
I mistook
Okay,
that line
well-
of bushes for a chocolate eclair, by the way.
How about this? Since I'm now in front of the butcher and I can get some meat to give to the dog, hype. I actually have a question. Have you ever played like a really? Have there ever been any really obscure point-and-click games you've ever like looked
What,
into?
looking
Oh,
for
excuse-
meat?
Obscure
Hey,
point and
you're kinda
click
cute.
games.
I'll tell you what.
I
you
feel
can
like there
have
might have been
scrap meat
some,
over
but
there
like the
for free.
only point and click games that I've ever really played that really come to mind are a lot of the LucasArts stuff, maybe one of the Sierra games. Like, it was like really early into my life, so I don't remember which one it was.
Oh my god. You remind me of something, but I'm about to share your thing first.
Well, no, I'm just trying to remember what it was, what other ones that I might have played. I don't know if this really counts as obscure, but the Genesis version of Scooby-Doo Mysteries is technically a point-and-click game.
There you go, Pupper.
That is true.
That
Also,
state
to say-
does not fit in this time period.
Also, I was gonna say, yeah, it should be a different. It should be the dirt brown color. Anyway,
And suddenly
this
the
does
dog
remi-
turns like super vibrant.
I mean,
and it's like, and then he warps into time.
also, yes, for those wondering, he totally should have just, thrown it the other way just so to lure the dog.
Right.
Please tell
oh,
me.
hey, homunculus.
Oh,
Also, hey, you.
what you doing here, man?
You? Why are you here?
Bye.
Oop,
Don't ask questions you can't prepare for the answers.
Faison.
Yeah. So I guess to explain what just happened there, that's technically not the homunculus that we know yet.
Oh.
So now that I've pretty much given away that plot twist, let's try and see if we can go inside, and because we need to try and figure out if anyone survived, and we found a key
A key.
that would normally lead into Dr. Wagner's lab.
That key is very silvery for the Bronze Age.
Let's see what else. What was I mentioning? Oh yeah, it was the fact that because you mentioned point-and-click adventure games and the Lucasfilms, the LucasArts stuff. That holy crap! Of all things, this is the playthrough we can finally mention. Icky, did you see the latest announcement from Devolver Digital?
No.
Ron Gilbert is coming back to do another Monkey Island game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we thought
Okay.
we thought what would be impossible is actually happening again.
Like, I appreciate
Yeah,
sharing the
there's-
news, but I get the feeling that Icky isn't quite as enamored with Monkey Island as we are.
Okay, basically, fun fact, it's
Is he the dude
it's
that
kind of-
voices the main guy?
no, Ron Gilbert's the writer.
Oh.
Dominic Armano is the guy who does the voice of Guybrush, who is also coming back.
Okay, well that
Um,
that shows how much I know about that game.
it's okay.
Oh no, it's little dweeb guy.
He's
getting
getting
picked
bullied.
on.
Oh no. Natural selection setting in. Guess we just gotta let him go.
What?
That isn't true. He isn't doing anything like that.
He kind of sounds like the burger shop's son from Parappa 2.
Because the devil provides for her.
Man, nothing like
that's not true.
freaking pre-Catholic. Like, dude, man, you're such a heathen.
My dad. I see now. Like a lamb for
Just the dialogue makes no sense.
This
There's
is so
something
stupid.
really weirdly tongue-in-cheek about.
Dare say stuff like that about
It's
my
just,
mother.
there's something so weird about giving people like that these voices, but I have to imagine that's probably what it was like for some children, was them talking about, look at them hobble away.
He's running as if
Oh
he's shitting
look,
his pants.
he's chasing us. Let's run away like the sissies we are.
He'll never catch us now. Oh
Ike's-
golly gee.
Ike's like, wow, they had really silly walk cycles back in the old days, and he just starts walking like this.
Yeah, he
Anyway,
fucking
we
has
took-
stilt
Anyway,
legs.
so we time travel back in time to before the house blew up.
Okay.
So now we can use the key that we stole from the future to go inside into Wagner's study.
But
Good
now
thing it still
technically
works.
2 lab keys exist.
Yo,
What you cooking there,
So-
Pops?
Is that you, Hugo?
Holy shit, look at his legs though.
Knock knock.
Like you saw him walking down those steps, right?
Whoever you are, I want
yeah, no, it was not. I don't think they did the motion capture down
Those-
actual steps. I think they tried to move
Those
it.
were some weird ass legs.
Yes, that is correct.
But that
So,
still doesn't
yeah.
get you out of my house.
Research into the
This
homunculus?
decrepit little fuck here is Dr. Wagner.
Someone has been
And he has been working on experiments to create a homunculus.
A haymunculus?
A homunculus.
Hey,
from the
homunculus.
Well, call it
From the Philosopher's Stone.
Sure, a hunch. We'll go with that. Seems a little too good to be a hunch.
so. Excuse me, but I must ask.
I need antidote.
I too am religious. You must
This
leave.
room, please.
Can I at least get an antidote for seahorse poisoning?
Philosopher's Stone?
What did you say? You mean that you have it?
Well, no.
I don't know if it is
I
the
don't know
one,
if
but I
it's
mean
the
it's
one.
there and
But
stuff.
have seen a
I was
sign
kind of
on
hoping
the
that he
website.
would react like the dude sitting in the office, where he just like nonchalantly, accidentally, quote unquote, knocks over the vase. He just knocks over his stew.
I ask him very politely. He says, "All right, fine. You must find the antidote in this simple box of concoctions I've created."
So,
Caustic
about that
cobalt.
antidote,
But within that box,
He just says, "Yeah." He
awaits
hands me the
3
box
trials.
with all. I would say not 3 trials. He hands me the box with 4 different vials in it, and it's like, you must partake of one of these. Each is labeled a different evil concoction: caustic caramel cream, horrific hazelnut, mutating marshmallow, or antidote. And I
Ike
was like,
just consumes the entire box.
I just like the
Including the
Or-
box.
Yes.
or antidote.
Nobody.
Well, now
sees
you're just
the
making
whole
me
damn
imagine-
assortment.
well, now you're just making me think if Ike was literally just a disembodied head made out of chocolate.
Would actually not be surprising by the finale of this whole thing. That's what has to happen, and they make a silly box like with him.
never make another Metal Gear game until.
I think he's decided to call
You know what? It's only befitting because Germany is called the land of chocolate.
to me talking.
Really? I thought that'd be Swiss.
No? Haven't you watched the
chocolate.
Simpo Sands?
Actually, I realized, like, my joke probably doesn't even work, because I think they still make Metal Gear games without him involved, didn't they?
They did once. They did one time, and it was freaking
Wasn't
Metal
it
Gear
that
Survive.
spin-off thing?
Why do you need something like
was
Yeah, it
like
was Metal
a-
Gear Survive, where they turned into like a survival horror with explodey zombies, and it was the gameplay was actually brain dead. Like
It was fairly poorly received, and I actually
was-
remember what it was like now.
It was a total cash grab, and even some of the developers of the game had left sneaky little hints that they hated developing it.
oh really?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they left in like messages on like the walls in the game saying
Oh,
it's like.
also
"Fuck
real quick. So
Konami."
sorry. I have to say this right now. So this is a huge thing. So we're noticing something familiar about her, and we're wondering. She looks a little bit like us, or has some features, so maybe she's my ancestor. So here's an important thing. Depending on what you're about to say, this will straight up send you down 2 major different branches of this game. So if we tell her about our ancestry, then we'll be able to unlock endings A, B, and C. If we say nothing, we can only get endings D or E.
So if we don't tell her, then we get the bad endings.
Well,
Yes.
Hugo's the only one
That's
who says so.
Well, and Dink, because he said it only went to D, didn't he?
Except me, then.
D and E.
It's more
Oh,
I
my
mean, in
bad.
that regard, you kind of prevent the whole Futurama situation where Fry accidentally, does the horizontal monster mash with his grandma
Which more on that
and becomes his
later,
own
'cause it
grandpa.
Oh, I have some things.
But again, more on that later. This plot gets very confusing with time swapping. So for now, we're going to we're going to spend some time with her. Why not?
Hold on a sec.
That-
As if it isn't confusing now.
Again, same with Mega Man Legends. I will do my best to make sense of this, including talk about what the other endings actually mean for all of this. But
I mean,
I mean-
honestly, as far as games we could cover that have really bonkers, ridiculous plots, wait until I eventually cover Sin and Punishment.
I cannot wait to do that because I want to see what
It's
that
a
game's
fun
like.
game, don't get me wrong, it's great, but its plot makes absolutely no fucking sense.
Welcome to Treasure.
Even when dealing with good old honeydew or honey melon,
Especially with Honey Melon.
and the plot where we have to fight her father for her hand in marriage.
What?
Honey melon, and it's like a tutorial enemy, but then you
Oh,
start
no,
shooting at her.
that's a melon bread.
You mean
Yeah, I was
No,
about to
sorry,
say,
no,
it's
no.
like, aren't you thinking of... No?
Sorry. I was thinking of honey. I was thinking of
Cutie?
freaking. I was thinking of I was thinking of a sniper honey viper from Alien Warrior, which we finally are getting on the Switch as well.
Oh, we already didn't we already get it?
Hugo, not the
Oh yeah, but it was in the most recent update or something like that.
Right,
for
it
the,
was.
for the Genesis.
Also, I think you're talking about Mangosteen.
Yeah, as well from freaking
Cuphead.
Koofy.
which is based on melon bread.
I enjoyed the
Anyway,
Oh.
note that I was able to talk over that entire conversation because some of the dialogue in this game is actually just empty hype. It's just there's nothing.
I mean, did
Also, wait a minute.
Oh.
Wait
It's
a
not gonna
fucking
say there's no
minute.
brain.
Dana?
What?
I recognize that few bits of color.
I recognize that bonnet from anywhere.
It's actually vibrant and
Oh,
a ghost.
A
I
ghost
told you
from
it
the
was on to
future.
us.
you're kidding me.
Nah, well, I mean, she's not a ghost. She just was very good at running.
For
Dana,
what
though,
reason?
so yeah, right now Margaret is like, "What the hell are you doing? What happened?"
Where'd he go?
Where?
Also, I just
Margaret.
realized it's raining. Like, it's
Oh,
very
yes, it
hard
is.
to notice, but there are a few particles that make it seem like it's raining.
I thought it was
Yeah, I
snow.
do see that here. Maybe it's snow. It is.
It looked
the
too thin to be snow.
The climate. Yeah, no, not
Terribly
yet.
sorry about that.
What's the matter?
Sorry, I went
she look like
mad
her?
for a moment
That
there.
girl.
You
Who's
won't tell
she?
anybody, will you?
Yes, but I lost sight of her. Maybe it wasn't even her.
Well, might as well ignore that plot thread again.
I need to go home now. Is
I
that
better
all
go
right?
now.
Of course. Sorry about that.
I'm
It's
such a
okay.
dunderhead.
But you really are from a different world altogether, aren't you?
I mean, have you even ma'am, do you even know what denim? Can you even spell denim?
Well,
That's what these jeans are made of, and these boots were made for
Don't
walking.
worry. I won't tell anyone about the things you've told me. Not that anyone
you?
would believe me anyway.
See, here's
Leave.
the thing. They
That's-
currently live in a time where the alphabet doesn't
it would be
exist.
better if you could.
Wait, really? No, I thought that was like I thought the alphabet was made like since like, or I guess not the alphabet we're familiar with anyway.
To be fair, remember, Germany.
Huh? What do you mean?
That is also true. Thank goodness for time traveling translators.
It's filled with germs, don't you know?
Oh.
And yes, that was a terrible thing for me to say. Thank you, Margaret.
Well, anyway, if that person was supposed to live till 100 and have lots of kids and grandkids,
So we're trying to talk to her about all sorts of So okay, here's the best part is we're having a whole conversation discussing about how Ike is aware of the butterfly effect.
And
Yet-
that somehow she is as well.
Yes.
But yet
Well, I mean,
we-
considering her father is a bona fide whack job dealing with the fucking
the more the future
alchemy arts.
I'm just looking at it like, Ike, how are you this aware of the butterfly effect, yet you took a kitten into the past,
You changed an art museum to a library just by saying,
Again,
I want
you
a
took
library.
a waitress and
I'll at
dropped
least-
her in the...
Quite
I'll at least give the kitten this. It was already established earlier that the guy was literally he was pretty much putting those kittens up for adoption. So
Yeah, but here's the thing.
But I
Since
still like
Ike
to see
took
it
that
live.
cat
I
out
don't
from
know why,
the
but
current
he's so
timeline,
strong.
that cat will never be able to
Won't you
stop
take me to your time?
the death of JFK.
No, I can't do that.
what does that have to do with anything?
It's not possible, but
So
future
right
will
here, so this is going to be the big moment where we have to, because I think I also talked over it earlier. It's right here. We need
Oh.
to say, I think you may be an ancestor of mine, because that will be what gives me access to the first 3 endings.
I forget if SGB even picked this or not.
They did.
They had to have, otherwise they wouldn't have been able to see
Wait a
ending
second.
B.
Did I just say something?
And right there, bam, that's your moment of, this was really
I
important.
couldn't hear you.
Oh my god.
So much so they give you a second chance
It's like,
to
are you
say,
Are you
"Do wanna
sure?
commit to this?"
You're absolutely certain because there's no turning back.
So there you go.
Except we could go
Also,
back
I-
in time, kill off this Ike Kush, and
We can't. If we touch ourselves, we die. I don't know.
no,
Also,
we could just
um,
like shoot him from a distance
Oh,
and
I see.
tell
Ancestress, huh?
Margaret that that guy was a complete
Icky.
liar.
I
Iki,
thought-
you know that only works with multiverse theory.
can't
Well,
be possible.
never mind.
I refuse to
Because-
believe that this exists in the same time period as Metal Gear Rising.
I'm sorry if I've been a bother.
Also,
I was out of line.
oh no, I'm sorry, Margaret. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. But also, I also talked over it, but earlier she did actually give us the bottle that has the male sea hair antidote. So hooray!
Aw.
After now that we've had this very long,
And she's
she's
like,
not taking
"Oh
it as well.
man," and he was kind of handsome too.
How could
I
this
was
happen
born
to
here.
me?
And
I've
someday
made my
I shall marry
mistake.
someone and have children, grow
Do you have
old
nowhere to
and die.
run, hype?
And it's all been decided already, hasn't it?
I have plenty of places I could run, but that would be rude to just leave you guys.
That's true. Life does go on.
You'd at
But
least
now
tell
it's
Sun's fading
fading
away.
You'd at least-
Wait, what?
you'd-
Ah!
Huh?
Thank you for helping with that, Icky. But yeah, so now this is. Say apologies for the long video. This is like some of the longest interactions because it's just straight up movie almost here, but not as bad
I
as
mean,
Metal
that's the
Gear
game
2.
in general, dude.
That's what Konami's been at. That's what Konami's wanted all
And I mean,
along.
let's not kid ourselves here. If we're able to fucking do this as a commentary, then who's to say we can't do the entirety of Metal Gear Solid?
We could do anything.
Well, again, Metal Gear Solid 1, I'm positive we can handle. It's Metal Gear 2, it's Metal Gear 2, or was it Snake Gear that had the 2-hour-long cutscene?
You're 4.
4. Okay, thank goodness. We got a little bit of time then. Whew. Yeah, no, Metal Gear Solid 1, I think, is the same with like Kingdom Hearts. I think Metal Gear Solid 1 we could do pretty safely. It keeps it. It's because it was the game they made not thinking they were ever going to make another one.
But
again, I'll still defend 3, considering that's mostly its own story, quote, mostly standalone story.
but just
So-
going back.
Oh, sorry,
I
you
was just trying to
continue.
be tactful.
But just going back a bit, when you brought up the notion of like, if we could do this, I'm pretty sure we could do the entire Metal Gear franchise. All of a sudden, it's that one scene from SpongeBob, but instead of SpongeBob, you just see Matt's like body impression slowly pushing through the wall before he busts through James's house.
God.
I
For a
gotta
second, I thought that was a zoom in on Hugo's crotch, by the way.
just straight up like Matt's like, I need furniture.
Also,
Oh.
also, wait, what is he carrying?
Sack?
It's not as though I'm doing anything wrong.
So, oh damn!
Oh no!
Wait, that physics. I think you just made.
Physics.
I think that kid just made physics cry.
I
Ladies
think
and
God.
gentlemen,
I think God took pity on him. Pity on him, was like, that stool's not going to go anywhere. I'll help him this one time.
ladies
Anyway,
and gentlemen,
he is.
that physics.
Anyway, yep. Hugo is starting to fall into the abyss of science and experimentation, like his father before him, and is trying desperately to try and recapture. I mean, so the motivation is simple. He's trying to do all this because he wants to basically wish upon the homunculus like a genie or something to try and make his mother to heal his mother.
I mean, in some regard, Homunculus could be seen as kind of a genie.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's kind of the logic they're going with here.
So there were some
He
interviews
just
where
casually
they
gives this one nonce from the year 2001 a time pad.
which
Just
again there
expects
is
him
an
to do
explanation for.
things.
Which again, there is an explanation for that, Icky, which I can talk about later when the time is right. But for now, she will give me
For all the stories you told me.
a comb.
I've had that ever since
Oh
I was
boy.
A double-sided comb.
It's strange. When I touch it, I sometimes see a picture of this man.
Ugh.
You
I don't
gotta
like the
you ought to
sound
get
of
that
that.
looked at. You ought to get that looked at by your local priest. But in any
She's
case,
hearing demons in her brain.
I was like, dude, you would actually, in some cultures, like right around this, in the frickin' 1500s, you would be safer going to a priest than you would a doctor in this time period.
Really now?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I mean, okay, the priest would probably do some really weird things as well, but I don't
mean-
think leeches would be involved.
Listen,
to be fair,
Castlevania
like-
taught me otherwise.
Fair.
Well,
Anyway,
Castlevania is a kind of a wild take on that whole thing. Though
Unless your
no
doctor's
less
name is-
accurate.
Unless your doctor's name is Shaft, you should be fine.
Shaft.
Hugo.
They say that doctor's a bad mother.
I mean, again,
Shut your
either
mouth.
you could listen to the word of God or literally have some quack saw your arm off.
Or trip. Yeah. Too weird for me.
Or take
All
a
right,
bath in the
so-
leech mobile.
That's
Holy crap, after all of that useless plot dialogue, we now have ourselves we've now gotten ourselves an antidote. So all we gotta do now is go back into the present, use it, and we're good as new. So stay tuned, everybody.
Tell us,
Yippee.
everybody.
Hooray!
Shaft.